Hello and welcome to LowerBitrate Podcast number 44. I'm definitely not coked up on a energy drink right now.
Hello, and I am definitely not jacked up on ADD meds,
Don't do drugs.
kids.
Quick reminder, forgot to post this last week. If you're watching on the YouTube, our letters are pink now. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I dropped the link in the little description thing, so if you want to give something, thumbs up to you. Next week, I believe in most states, you'll be able to vote early in person. Check that out if you want to avoid the voter suppression in the big lines.
Early voting's happening right now in Texas.
So next week is going to be in New York. I think it's a little too late for mail-in ballots or absentee ballots. Don't quote
Mine
me on
is
that.
missing.
Just check with your state. That's the easiest thing I could say. And follow the socials. Currently working on, instead of having a link tree, having one of those little card things. That should be pretty cool. Stay tuned.
Right. Well, just wanted to say, as always, thank you for listening. Also, if you've been listening from the beginning, thanks for listening to all these episodes. We appreciate you tuning in every week. If you want to do feedback, as always, you can provide feedback in the Discord. Look for a link in the notes. We watch a movie there every week on Mondays, so join us for that. And thanks if you've joined us for that. That's always fun. And yeah, thank you for leaving not just feedback, but giving us a review. We really appreciate it. Helps us out so much.
Yes. And we're also coming up on 1 year of doing this.
Really?
Yeah, November 15th.
What the fuck?
So about a month from now.
All right. After 1 year, you want to go family friendly so Mom Bop can listen to this?
Are we going to dye our hair blue and wear a yellow headband?
What is that?
Those in the know will know the shade I just threw.
To be family friendly? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Or I could be bald. You could have the blue hair with the headband.
Okay.
I'll tell you later. So this is going to be
like go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it's probably like a Belle Delphine thing.
I wish it was. It's not. This is going to be an earlier episode. We usually post it every Friday around midnight, but we have a couple of topics that are a little time sensitive and need to get to you ASAP. So we'll post this a little bit early. I don't know if it's going to come up now or later. I think today.
Yeah, we'll try to get it uploaded just because we're going to talk about some deals that are going on. Just give a couple recommendations, what we think you should pick up if you're looking to shop today and tomorrow. So that's why we're pushing it early. Normally we record on Wednesdays, but today we're recording on Tuesday, October 13th. So thanks for listening early. Hopefully it'll be worth it.
Yeah, eat. So
save you some monies.
Yes. First up, we have Funko Pops. I'm a little bit of a Funko Pop crackhead, or was. I'm recovered.
Okay. That's like saying you're a recovering addict and having a room full of cocaine.
It's very different. I can't consume the Funko Pops. I could, but I don't think that would be good for my health. So I have a lot of them. I'm going to sell some of them. I'm going to keep some of them. But certain few will be available for giveaways here. So if you or anyone that you know is a Funko Pop enthusiast, or you want to get free shit, subscribe to the podcast and just listen. Coming soon, TM.
Yeah. So
what?
The reason we brought up Funko is not just for our lower bitrate giveaway, fun, but Also, because it's Prime Day starting today, the 13th, and it will go until tomorrow, the 14th. And they're all like, look at these deals, deals, deals. So I'm glad we're talking about this early in the podcast. So maybe you can, look at your Amazon app while you're listening, see if you
Yes.
can pick something up. So you want to talk about, besides Funkos, maybe one thing we'd recommend or you'd recommend picking up?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. What I found, what I think is the best deal, at least today, is there's HyperX's. So HyperX is a really good manufacturer of gaming, whether it's PC or console. Their headphones are really good. I've used them before for broadcasting. I personally don't have a pair right now, but I have friends that love them and use them. And so they're on sale right now, the wireless ones for $99. And so that's down from, what was it? 200 or
140.
140? Yeah. So that's a good deal. $40 off. I would pick up those wireless gaming headset for $99. Pretty good deal. Higher end one, I would say.
Yeah. For mine, I have a couple because I don't want to say buy this because I don't have most of the things that they're selling here.
Okay.
Like mine's is like my whole setup is kind of like special and unnecessary. So my thing would be if you are trying to up your storage on your Switch, perhaps you can get a pretty decent deal on SD card. I think 256 gigabytes would be $30, and I think 512 would be around 45-ish. So check those out. Those are pretty cool. Don't go above 512 because those are a ripoff. Like $200 for like a terabyte. Don't do that. They have some pretty spicy deals on Ring cameras. If you want to watch people outside, you get a free Amazon Alexa. Those are pretty cool. I think you can get them for roughly like 70 to 120 bucks, which is a pretty sweet deal. When I had my video doorbell up, I had I have an Echo Show, which it has a screen. It would show me who's at the door. I could talk to them, tell them to get the fuck away. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of like deals here. What I like to do on Amazon usually is check like the little trinkets. So I have a whole bunch of little trinkets from Amazon, like things for my keys, things like that, which are pretty cool. They should have deals on my
What for your
keys.
keys? Like pepper spray or something?
No, I have so my keys. It used to be just jangly keys, just regular keys on like a ghetto carabiner that I had for like a decade when I got my first car.
That's how I roll.
And I wanted to spice it up a little bit, so I got I don't even think it's real leather, but it's like a little leatherette key holder, and it has little spacers for your keys. I put all the keys that I use there, and it keeps them from jangling. And then it has a little attachment thing where I super glued it or epoxied it so it stays in place, and that goes to my car keys. My car keys, they're not traditional car keys. They're just a key fob, and I wanted to keep that away. And I have it's not the so there's this thing called everyday carry. It's like this lifestyle thing, and I don't.
That's when you carry your semi-automatic guns in public.
No, this is more like being prepared with all the tools that you get or have on your keys. So carabiners, they use a lot of carabiners, and they have like little trinkets on there, and it gets pretty pricey. I'm not even gonna lie. The thing I mentioned, the Orbit key thing, I think it's about like $20 just for like a key ring that has nothing else. So I'm not going crazy like that and spending hundreds of dollars on it, but I got some budget pieces in mind, and it makes my keys like mine. I don't think anybody's has that setup that I have. I have like a a Gerber shard, which is like a multi-tool type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Never used it, but it's cool to look at. Uh, that's about it. I think I'm gonna put like one thing. The main thing was getting the fucking keys to stop jingling, so people could know when I'm coming from like a mile away. That was the thing that bothered me the most, and I corrected that.
People don't think they're being stalked by a janitor
Exactly.
walking in the streets.
Yeah, so check things like that. They do have some decent deals on PC parts, but I wouldn't buy any PC parts at this point. I would wait for the AMD CPUs to come out, which I don't think we talked about that.
No.
Yeah,
You wanna-
TLDR, AMD released CPUs, or is going to release CPUs later this month or next month, and it looks like they're putting the final nail in Intel's coffin because they're finally. From what they say, they're finally catching up on IPC, which is instructions per clock. Nerdy shit, faster in games, TLDR.
All right.
So
When
we'll
is
see.
that release?
I think later this month or next month, November. I'm not
Cool.
entirely sure, but I'm definitely gonna try to get one. But I know the scalpers are gonna be on it, so who knows?
Yeah, like the GeForce release.
Yes, that was a shit show, and I still haven't been able to acquire one. I don't think I will at this point. I think I'm
All
over
right.
it. I'll wait.
I think there's going to be more Prime deals tomorrow that they haven't revealed. But what I did buy is a couple Nalgene water bottles. And I did pick up another really good deal. I forgot to mention is if you use Apple products, the last gen, not the Apple Pro AirPods, but just the regular old basic bitch ones are on sale for $114, which is a really good price. Even for just good Bluetooth headphones that, you can make good quality phone calls on or like video conferencing calls on.
Yeah, Apple AirPods are the shit. I can't see myself going back to wired headphones.
I like them. I have some Skull Candy like headphones that I like. So yeah. But yes, the AirPods are very convenient. They're a good size. The audio quality is good. And also, I do like with doctors every week, I do like a video call. So that always is fine.
Yes. Speaking of Apple, they had their
Yeah.
event today.
I did not watch it, but you did. Please fill me in.
Very interesting. So they went, not to harp on this, it's iPhone. It's usually the same shit every year with little improvements or whatever. So if anybody remembers, way back in the day, they did the MagSafe for all the older Macs. That's on iPhone now, and they're gonna just basically sell you overpriced accessories for it to keep things in place.
I'm sorry, what is it? The MagSafe?
Yeah, on older Macs. Have you ever had a Mac before?
No.
Okay, so remember way back in the day, if you were to trip over your laptop wire, it would destroy your PC or your
Yeah,
laptop.
so it has detachable. All right, I see
It
what
was a
you're saying.
detachable magnet thing that kept it in place, kept it charging, and if for any reason you were as dumb as me and got caught up in your wire and ripped it off, it would just rip off the cable, not destroying your laptop. So
It happens. Like it happens with pets too. Like if you have an animal, they'll pull things down.
yeah, so I think if your animal trips over your iPhone wire, that shit's done. But they're just trying to sell you more accessories, and it's across all the 4 iPhones that came out. And yes, there's 4. Very interesting. You mentioned that you got the iPhone, the smaller iPhone, because you wanted a smaller phone, right?
The iPhone 8, they re-released it. And yes, I picked it up. But of course it has like a better camera, but not as good as a camera as my old iPhone X. But I don't mind. I like the smaller size. It fits what I want.
So they flipped the script on you guys, and It came out with the iPhone 12, which is the
Mm-hmm.
regular one, iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I think they can get more screen out of them now. So the regular iPhone is going to be 6.1 inches, as well as the 12 Pro, and the Max version is going to be like 16. Fuck, 6.7. But I think this is the spiciest one. They're coming out with the iPhone 12 Mini,
Mm.
which is roughly, I think it's a little bit smaller than I want to say the iPhone 8 Pro Plus.
Cool.
Who knows? $699,
iPhone
and you get a 5.4-inch screen with the style of the
nice
iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it.
with the like the fixins.
Hmm?
Okay, so something I like about my iPhone 8 SE is that it has the finger. It does have a button. It has a home button and it does the finger scan. So the problem with my iPhone X is that there's no button and thus no finger scan. So I just like the convenience of that.
Yeah. High key wearing a mask and doing the Face ID unlock, so
Mm-mm.
fucking annoying.
Yeah, doesn't work. So that's why it's much more convenient just to place my finger on it instead of like having to hold it up to my face, take off my sunglasses or um it's just fits what I want and my needs are. So I'm interested to see like maybe what the exact specs of that mini iPhone are and also how much it costs because the iPhone 8 SE was less expensive than my iPhone X
Yeah.
and thus I'm saving money. Like I pay it off a little bit every month along with my bill and which is just what I could do and then it's just it's nice to be paying less
Gonna
because the
blow your
phone
mind.
costs
Ready?
less. How much is the iPhone mini?
$700. You ask what's the specs? It has the same specs as the
That's good.
iPhone 12. And technically the iPhone 12 Pro. The only thing that the Pro has is a brighter screen
Mm-hmm.
and I believe better cameras. But I was thinking about it because I'm due for a phone upgrade. It's been 3 years since my iPhone 10. I got it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't take any pictures. So I'm thinking about getting just the regular 12 and calling it a day.
Yeah.
But then I'll wake up on Friday, pre-order the 12 Max like a moron. So who knows?
So here's the thing. Another perk to brag about my iPhone 8 SE is that I think it costs $400. It starts at $399. And so I got more storage. So yeah, it was in the $400 range. So that's cheap for an iPhone. That's the cheapest I've paid for an iPhone.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, just to give some more details, talking Apple shit.
Yeah, I mean, Apple stuff is not exciting. It never is exciting. It's just, evolutionary things. And when Apple does things, usually everybody else follows suit.
So did it have the classic cheese cringe where the guy's like, and the iPhone X mini is gonna cost $800. And then he pauses and everyone's like, yeah, huzzah! Like just as if they just like conquered the neighboring clan.
Oh, so you haven't seen an Apple presentation in the year 2020?
Oh yeah, virtual one. Okay.
Yeah, no crowds, just virtual. Still cringy, but no crowd. It's less cringy than normal. Still cringy though.
I just don't like I didn't like watching the old events because I felt like they were playing for the crowd. And I was like, and the room was just stocked with Apple employees. So I was like, okay, just do a presser like they do with E3. Stock the room with media.
Yeah. They've changed their ways in the last few years, putting more media people and more YouTube people there.
Okay. I'm glad they followed my advice. Okay.
So that's Apple shit. Games.
Yeah. So you go first. What have you been playing?
Yeah, we can do this really quick. So I've been playing a little bit of Fault, frustrating, don't want to play it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Path of Exile, I log on for like 20 minutes, do one map or
Mm-hmm.
two, and then fuck off. And then I've been playing Destiny 2 for primary reasons. Yes, Destiny 2, trash. Agreed.
Yeah, but you keep playing it.
Yeah, but I always complain about games and then play them anyway.
Yeah. I just brought up, hey, what are you playing? Because I knew we wanted to chat Destiny 2, and I know you've been playing it. So I
Yeah,
was
I mean, it's
curious.
still Destiny 2, right? Like, nothing has changed about it. But if you want to get back into it and you're thinking about playing this November with their new
Yeah.
DLC, now's the time to play because a lot of things are disappearing and we don't know when they'll be back or if you'll be able to get the things. So
Good old Destiny. You get attached to something and then they take it away. Rip Gallahorn.
yeah, I mean,
Rip Thorn.
I actually brought Thorn back, but
I know, but it's not the same paching.
yeah, we could. Yeah, I miss the original Thorn. 2-tap and walk away. But yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and they're doing something called sunsetting, which is basically getting rid of weapons, so that they can have more room in the sandbox to create things. Because what happens in these games is a meta develops and people know what's the best thing to use, and they don't use
Mm-hmm.
anything else. So gameplay diversity is basically none. It's basically zero, and you get bored playing the same shit over and over again. And one of the things that I miss about Destiny was the initial maybe like year or so
Mm-hmm.
where people really didn't know what the fuck was going on and they didn't data mine anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all new to us or
Mm-hmm.
new at the time. So I guess that'll capture some things back, but then, you know, Bungie always takes 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards.
Right. I don't like this sunsetting. They should be grandfathering in old weapons. That's what took me away from the game is I was like, I like my guns. You should just be tweaking the meta. You should not be
Yeah,
taking away guns.
but they
Why?
made
It changes the game.
yes, but they made some mistakes and created guns when the game wasn't as popular
Mm-hmm.
that were too good. Meaning,
Too fun.
no, not even fun, just good. Like something called Not Forgotten, which was a 180 rounds per minute hand cannon. That was the best thing in the game, and you could get fucked on by that quite a bit.
Oh,
Mountaintop.
when were these the best in the game?
When they were announced or released, rather.
Don't you remember how perfectly balanced the Crota weapons were? Like those were my favorite from the raid. Just I enjoyed them a lot.
Yeah, but nobody really played from Destiny 1 before the nerf with anything other than Fatebringer, which was from Vault of Glass, Black Hammer, which was from Crota, and Galahorn. That's all people played with.
And shotties. The shotty from Crota was good. Anyway, this is making me all sad and nostalgic.
Destiny's
Talking
definitely
about
different from where we remember it. Bungie's a different company now.
mm-hmm.
I mean, take
no more
the good with the bad.
Activision.
Yeah. I don't
They're
know.
just so proud of Destiny 2, and I feel like they lost so much of their OG player base.
Never make everybody happy because the hardcore people want some hardcore shit. The casual people don't want to do all that stuff. If you do one thing, somebody else will get mad. So, whatever.
But that was the joy of Destiny, is that the players had to help each other because of differing skill levels. And especially now that your light level is affected by your weapons. Um, yeah, it's just nice to have veterans that could do, like remember the like raid Sherpas and things like that. I liked it.
That still exists.
Okay.
You just have to go to the Destiny Discord. All right.
No thanks, but okay.
You have a game you want to talk about, or games?
Yeah. Party animals. Oh, so there is the fall festival Steam sale going on right now. And so I was clicking through it, the featured games, and they have demos there. So I picked one called Party Animals, and that was the first I'd heard of it. And then turns out it's like, it's, I don't know, it seems like it's the silliness of Fall Guys. So some people are having really fun playing it, like a lot of fun playing it. Hello. So it's like Human Fall Flat MOBA.
Yeah, I got that vibe from that game too. Looks fun. I sent you that video of that streamer guy.
Yeah.
That video had me rolling. Put a
It's
plunger in his
like,
ass.
yeah, that was really funny. Like, so you can use all sorts of different items, and one is a plunger. Like, it just seems absurd. It seems like there's also different game types and even game types you can just invent. It just looks like wobbly furries, hitting each other with toilet plungers. I'm in.
Sign me up. It's not out yet though. It's just a demo.
Yeah, play the demo. It's free.
Anything else caught your eye from the little sale thing?
So, there was one called Craftopia or Craft World. And that looked like what was that game that came out? I think it was made by the Star Citizen. Is that right? Anyway, it was like Factorio or something Factorio. Oh my gosh, I was so close. Where you would just build whatever you wanted. So it looks just like that. So I was like, nah, I'm good. I need more structure in my gaming, but I understand why these games are so popular and why my friends play them.
Yeah, a lot of crafting games have been popular recently.
That was the only other thing that caught my eye from the Steam sale, but I have been playing Mario 35. My nephew loves to call me on video and says he's 4. And so he says, Auntie, do you have any new games? Because I love showing them new games I get, just seeing what he thinks. He still thinks Fall Flat is his, the best game, but ever. Better than Fall Guys, he said. Pretty emphatic about his choice. So I showed him Mario 35. He thought it was very funny because I'm terrible at it still. The highest place I've gotten is 7th, and that was once. But Mario 35 is fun. It's just a battle royale. It's a platformer battle royale. And what I like are the special battles the most, because you start with like a power up and thus you can like get farther. You can also do a mix up of other maps. I really want to unlock other maps because I'm getting tired of playing the same ones over and over again. But it's a good game. I would recommend you pick it up. You'll definitely pick it up and play it for a little while, then put it down. But you'll definitely keep picking it up. It's fun. And also, if you have a nephew, he will love it.
But act soon because it is leaving next year.
Oh,
March.
yeah. Like leaving, like servers goodbye?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. It feels like that, like a temporary little game, but it's very polished. I wish there were more rewards, more cosmetics, because there's one. There's one cosmetic. You can change your player icon, but you know how diverse Fortnite is, how you can really design something. I hope they do something like that. So you could be like Peach on the top, Luigi on the bottom, just Peach in overalls or something. Mario running around in a princess dress. I would like to see it.
Any other games?
No. That's it. That's all I've been playing this week. Just been watching a lot of TV. But yeah, no other gaming. I've wanted to play Among Us, but I couldn't get a lobby going once last week. So really like to get an Among Us night going if possible. So let me know if you're interested in that. I'd still like to play that game. Again, even though I'm terrible. People think I'm the imposter just because of how sketch and sus I am.
And you just vote random people for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, that color looks suspicious. Vote. And then everyone else votes for one other person. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. So to TV, The Boys finished their season on Friday. I enjoyed it for the most part. I didn't enjoy waiting every week. I actually stopped halfway through episode 4 to
Yeah, because
wait
they
for
were
the rest.
doing 2 a week, right?
One a week.
2. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they released 3, and then
Yeah.
4 through 8 were weekly on Fridays. So I watched the first 3, thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Half of 4 said fuck this, I'm gonna wait. So I waited to last Monday or so. Watched 4 through 7. Was like holy shit. And then Friday came and I watched and finished it. Thought it was interesting. They went a couple routes that I didn't expect them to.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future. It is it's a unique show. Very violent. You can tell that Amazon gives no fucks in letting anybody do anything with
Like
the Prime
HBO.
original stuff. Yeah. Um me and my friend were talking when they must have a blood team, like
Yeah.
a blood production team. Yeah, it's really good. If you like wacky adult themed superhero shows,
Mhm.
pretty cool. Check it out. If you're
I-
squeamish, don't.
Also, do you think it's well casted? Like the actors are good?
Yeah, I do. Um, Not a lot of known actors in this show,
Yeah.
but the ones that they casted are pretty good. The guy that plays the Superman, the quintessential
Yes.
Superman, he's fantastic. He plays the part like
Yes.
perfectly. Then everybody else, you know, fills in the gaps when they can. It's pretty cool.
I really like Carl Urban because he was in the Riddick movies, right? And then he was also in Lord of the Rings. He was one of the Riders of Rohan.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I just liked him from those movies. So I was like, hey, Carl Urban show. And I watched it and I was like, whoa, I think I'm gonna back off this one.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi. He's really good too. I think
Yeah.
he's the main guy.
Yeah, that's what I got the vibe of too.
Yeah, he's like the comedic relief or one of the comedic reliefs.
Hmm.
Yeah, check out The Boys if you have Amazon, which I think half of the world does.
Exactly. Well, you want to move on to Succession?
Yes.
So I've been plowing through Succession, Blue as well. It's one of my favorite shows. I've been really enjoying the rewatch. And we've made it to season 2. So what did you think of the first season?
I thought it was super solid.
Me too.
The ending
Started
was
solid. Yeah.
yeah, the ending was like it was a perfect cap. Brian Cox, I don't know if I said this before, but I met him in person. Super nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He is such a vindictive dude in this show.
Yeah.
He's scary almost.
He's the king.
Yeah. He just tells everybody to fuck off, which is great.
He just ends every meeting that way. Just, all right, here's the plan. Now fuck off.
Hmm? Yeah, Sarah Snook is pretty good in this show. Kieran McCulkin, excellent. Jeremy Strong. I don't know. He has like this pouty face, so he. I don't know. Some of the scenes with him, I was like, "Mm," but then he pulled it back in the very end.
Yes, I loved the ending. It ends with the wedding. I love how they have like family retreats and then they go to the summer house. Like it's very like Kennedy-esque, like they really are this like dynasty of power. Just old American money. Um, yeah. So
One thing
from
that
a
bothered
roof.
me towards the end of season 1 was he was looking like a bootleg Aiden from Watch Dogs with that stupid fucking hat and that jacket.
Oh, okay.
Like the main guy. Ugh, he annoyed. That kind of annoyed me. I'll send you a picture of it right now. Tell me he didn't look like this.
Okay. I would like to see it.
In your messages.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite is Romulus.
What's this picture?
That's of the main character of Watch Dogs, and what
Oh,
and
so
what?
you're saying Kendall looked like him.
Yes, at the
Got
very
it.
end when he was like, doing the thing.
Yes. And he was, for some reason, his driver became. No, I might be thinking of season 2, but his like personal driver became a motorcycle.
No, that was season 2.
Okay.
But the attention to detail on the show is super crazy. We mentioned was it last season with the rocket?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he was at again, like a gala, like a party.
Yeah.
And I forget what for. It might have been like an engagement party. I forget what they were celebrating because the whole family was there.
I think it was after the wedding. Who knows? Unimportant.
Oh, it was at the wedding. It was during the reception because remember he like went to the bathroom, looked at his phone. He's like, I'll have you know, I'm about to oversee the launch of a Japanese rocket. And then he went to the bathroom to watch the stream of the launch. And that bathroom scene happened where it blew up. And then him in the mirror, just washing his hands, turning around, putting his phone in his pocket, and just walking back out to the party.
Yeah. He had some eye twitches or mouth twitches that
Oh,
it was so good. It was perfectly timed. Looked like he was like breaking down mentally. And there's another thing too. There's a song that plays when Logan, aka Brian Cox, is fucking shit up, or he's like the main focal point of the scene, right?
mm-hmm.
But if you listen to the main track and you have the information in your head of Kendall blasting the rap music early on in the season,
Mm-hmm.
a song is like the classical music is fighting like the contemporary or like rap music. Like the bass drums are like fighting one another to exist.
I do love the music that plays. I'll have to pay attention to like what kind of music exactly plays with each character, but I really thought like the original theme played when mostly when Brian Cox, aka the King, the Patriarch, it was focusing on him or he was doing something.
Yeah, but that's just the classical portion. In the theme, it's the rap and the classical mixed together.
Yeah, it sounds like a classical rap. It's amazing. And it's not like I like it so much better than the Westworld theme. Just Westworld was just classical. I like classical music, but it got boring every week.
Yeah. The session's great. Watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yes. All right, moving on.
So we had our movie night. What's our next movie?
Next movie, please join us on Monday at 7 p.m. Central, every Monday. Next movie, we're watching Sonic the Hedgehog.
2020.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Are you excited about this one?
I want to see how crazy Jim Carrey is going to be.
I'm definitely going to take mushrooms before watching this one.
Oh, good luck with that one. But what did we watch this week?
Cabin in the Woods, a horror dark comedy. I love this movie. I'm glad we got to watch it for a movie night. So I had already seen it. This was your first time seeing it. How about you chime in first? Did you like it?
It started off like any other horror movie. Towards the middle-ish.
Really? It started off like any other horror movie? It started off with them at the corporation.
I'm talking about the main story. The corporation was,
Okay.
I didn't quite know what was going on. Like, I had an inclination of what was going on, but we didn't get that until around the middle, right?
Exactly. Like, that's why you're confused. They've confused you in the beginning. You're like, okay, this is funny, but what the hell is this? I thought this was about a cabin in the woods with these, young college students that go on a vacation. But it's instead these like banter of these coworkers in a very corporate, like base environment.
Yeah. So it starts off as like any other 90s horror movie. You have the jock, the pretty one, the nerdy one, the virgin, and the stoner.
Yep.
And the smart one, the book smart one. I don't know if I said that.
No.
Yeah, pretty typical shit until you get to like towards the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it kind of lost me. I was
It's
lost.
on purposely like tropey. Is that what made you lost, or the fact that it strayed from that?
No, I didn't. That didn't bother me. I was just waiting for. I honestly thought when she was being murdered by the big hillbilly zombie.
Yeah, the like axe murder.
Yeah. Well, he had a bear trap. That was the bear trap guy, right?
Yeah. But he also was like knifing them, I thought. Anyway.
Okay. So when I thought the movie was ending at that point, I was like, come on. Is this really the ending? You've got to be fucking kidding me. But it switches.
Yeah, it twists, eh?
Yeah, I enjoyed from that point on, I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh shit. I had to like readjust myself in the seat. Because I was like, okay, there's no way you're going to like murder this girl off camera and not have any resolution. From that point on, though, when they realized that whatever that the stoner was smoking, he was impervious to like their gases and all the other shit they were trying to do.
He was the only one that really knew what was going on, but instead the trope of the stoner is like he's an idiot, a babbling buffoon.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a pretty cool third act. I would say I will say that a lot of the cliches about horror come out to light. Like you got the dolls, you got the ballerina with the fucking monster face, the clowns, the robots.
Yes. Name a horror villain, like video games, movies, just anything you can imagine, and it was in there, including a merman.
That was my favorite part. He was like, "Oh, come on!" He just eats his face.
That joke. I mean, we're spoiling the movie, but that joke. One of the corporate guys was like, "Oh man, the plot is never involving a merman," because what happens is they take certain actions and do certain choices, like a choose your own adventure, and then they can, the corporation, the government department, whatever they are, then continue to control the narrative and thus control the people to like lead them to their deaths.
Yeah, so they make them choose how they're gonna die, basically. Very cliche ways of like, oh, the basement door opened. Let's go down and check.
No, you shouldn't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't my favorite. I thought some of the parts were really, really fucking funny. Like when he was like, deploy the hormonal mist. I was like, come on, bro. Hormonal mist. And then she
They're
just
like
gets,
pheromones.
yeah. I'm like, come on, man. But I love the twist at the end. And I actually like that it ends in a bad way.
Yeah, it's not a happy ending.
Definitely not.
I would watch it though. I'd recommend it. I hope we didn't spoil it too much for you, but it's a good watch. Again, not my like favorite movie, but I don't like horror movies and I like this movie. So it's more of a dark comedy than it is horror, I would say, because the tropes are so predictable. But that's what they're satirizing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a horror movie. But yeah, it's like scary movie.
That's what I was just thinking. But less cheese,
There's definitely
less
cheese there.
less silliness.
I don't know. It's just weird seeing Chris Hemsworth in
Hemsworth,
in a different movie, not in Thor armor.
aka, and not speaking like Thor either, because again, these superheroes from the MCU become their character that they're playing. So it's just funny to see Thor and not Thor, and also smaller, much smaller,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thin boy.
little baby Hemsworth.
All right, you want to move on to Lovecraft?
Yes, episode 9, the second to last episode of the season.
An ultimate episode, big one. I don't have any notes. I've only seen this once. I didn't have time to see it twice.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to see it twice because they brought back the scary horror girls, and I was like, nope, on out of here.
we got a couple of big. This episode was big. I like the previous episode more, the Jigaboo episode, because I think it was more. It was scarier than this one, but we got a lot of plot development. This one,
Right.
so he is dying. I think it picks up.
Diana.
Yeah, Diana is dying. Her arm's all fucked up, and they basically gave up all their leverage, and I didn't realize that in the last episode that they gave Titus's pages to Christina, the negatives, so they don't have any more leverage, and they're fucking novices, so they can't do any magic on her because they'll probably kill her.
Right.
So they have to do what they've been building on, which is why Hippolyta's episode was its own episode. It's so important because it makes total fucking sense now. So someone needs to give blood to
Diana,
right? And what does she trade? What does Atticus trade Christina to help Diana?
I don't remember.
He says that he will come willingly to the autumnal equinox for her of his own volition.
Okay.
And that'll only buy 24 hours to heal her. Because she can't do anything without the Book of Names. Because that's the magic that was used to curse her.
Yeah,
So,
she needs the like words of the language of Adam, right?
Yeah. So here comes Hippolyta.
That's what I missed. I was like,
wait,
where did she just come from? I was like, what did I miss? She's missing, and then she's just like there, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, so we find out that I think a week has passed since Hippolyta's been gone. Roughly a week. So I think we found that out last episode. And yeah, so she's because the blood that needed to be siphoned for this healing or temporary reversal, needed to come from the closest family member. And they kind
Right.
of looked
So
at one another, Montrose and Atticus, because Montrose is thinking, "Oh shit, I'm not his father. I'm not even related to these people." So Atticus was the one that was going to give the blood. But it's a
right.
50-50. You don't know whose kid he is.
Well, also you don't know if he's the closest relative because it's supposed to be Hippolyta. Is
Yeah,
she
but she
still
was
alive?
she was missing. But they were trying to play in the ambiguity of it. Of It was very cheeky what they did. They were pressing doubt in the viewer's mind to see, oh, is Atticus George's kid or Montrose's kid? Because even though Montrose and George are brothers,
Mm-hmm.
if he was Montrose's kid, he would be farther away in the family tree. He would be a cousin versus him being a brother by blood. You understand?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a 50-50 that they weren't, I guess, comfortable making. And here pops in Hippolyta.
Yeah.
And she gives the blood, obviously, because that's her mom. And yeah, I don't know. Would you want to have seen, would you have liked to see her, I don't know, like fucking shoot from the sky or something? Just
Or like
pop
walk
in?
through the portal.
Yeah.
Yes, that was so strange. And I hope we get an explanation for that because, yes, that makes a weird like blip in the excellent plot. It's just so strange. Like, also, there has to be a reason why they didn't show it. And there has to be a reason why they didn't show it in Hippolyta's like one off episode that could have easily like shown her like making her way back home instead of what we just saw from the one side where she's just missing after she does this huge odyssey.
Yeah. But there's a couple of big hints as to what the future holds. Because if you notice, the Hippolyta said that she was on that Earth, the current Earth they're on is Earth 504. So I think we'd mentioned lightly that the multiverse might be a thing because
Mm-hmm.
George was alive in one of her little visions or wherever teleportations.
Yep.
She confirmed this. And she spent, I think, at least a couple of hundred of years on the Earth that George was in. George was
Mm-hmm.
still alive at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows more than she's leading on
True.
and came back to Earth 504, which is the current Earth. So
She
we're
chose to because she said Diana needs me.
right. I
Is she all knowing?
I think so. I think so. So
She's like Dr. Manhattan.
possibly. I think she might be this version's Dr. Manhattan. But yeah, they go back to St. Louis or Kentucky or wherever the fuck this place is.
Mm-hmm.
And they go back to the little what is it? Telescope?
It's some sort of observatory.
There you go. And yeah, so she's basically like spouting off all these like technical terms to them and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She needs to fix the telescope and the plan is to go get the Book of Names to heal Diana. And where do they go? Where they know it is 1921.
Yes. And you said it was Tulsa.
Yep, Tulsa. The Tulsa Massacre.
So we know what happens. Yeah. I learned what happens from the Watchmen, like this egregious massacre.
Did they touch on Tulsa in Watchmen?
Yeah, that's how I learned about it.
Yeah, it's a very important piece of history.
Yeah. HBO bring in the history lessons, like really key things in American history that are not taught.
And for good reason. People don't want to be portrayed as monsters. And very interesting how you could pretty much like Lego piece history and just change the players and almost the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so this was a very important episode, I think, for the writers as well, because so much detail was poured into this episode and so much budget too. This one was a big set piece for
Yeah.
just live action, whole bunch of people, a lot of CG stuff, a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
graphic, important, personal things.
Costumes.
Yes. Um. Yeah. So they go to 1921, and this is a very tumultuous time for Montrose because he survived the Tulsa massacre, and we get an important unveil that he was saved.
And Montrose doesn't want to go back because he was horribly abused during this time.
Yeah. This is. You said that you didn't like this one, and I said that this was probably the biggest episode that they had so far because so many things were unveiled
Mm-hmm.
that you wouldn't even notice. Like if you would have to be paying attention, like really paying attention to know. You know why Montrose beat Atticus because you got a first person representation of what happened to him when he was a kid. He got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
With the switch. Anybody who's ever been, I mean, I know a lot of people that are younger don't get hit. I got my ass beat. Never with a switch, but I'm pretty sure that shit hurts. Which is basically a tree branch. So yeah, that was instilled with him, and you know that he was having those like he liked men. Point blank. He liked men, and he was a little bit more flamboyant, and being flamboyant in the year 1921, the roaring 20s was not a
It's not okay to be gay.
Yeah. So we got a first person envision of what Montrose was going through, and you know that it makes total sense that his mom would know, Atticus's mom would know that Montrose was, he was gay because she was so like motherly to him and like, yo, dude, George, you have to take care of your brother. What the fuck are you doing? So you know that she would harbor that secret.
Or just noticing he was really lost.
Yeah, so we know that George was supposed to be with Atticus's mom, Dora, but we know that it didn't play out that way. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I wonder if the girl. Remember, okay, so Letty and Atticus split up. Montrose tries to go do Back to the Future shit and go help somebody else, and so they split up. Letty goes to the house. Atticus, she hotwires a car for Atticus, and he goes for his dad. So me and Bobby McRib were talking about this earlier, and we think that the older woman, the grandmother, was the pregnant woman from the burning house that took the book out, right?
Wow. Okay.
I think that's what it is. It kind of threw me off because she was a little bit thicker in the the burning house scene, and then she was really, really thin in 1921. That kind of threw me off.
She was very old too. Like, really seemed like she could have been 80.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because didn't this happen? Titus was like alive way, way back in the day, like in the 1800s. So I think that makes sense. I don't have 100% like proof, but I think that's the working theory.
That's interesting. I wonder if they did that like with different actresses on purpose to like maybe make it a little bit, ambiguous, like leaving the viewer to guess, or maybe a shrewd viewer will pick up on it. I didn't pick up on that because I feel like if it was the same person, they would just use the same actress and just age her.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But I don't know. I don't know if it's in their budget. That's like, I don't know. That's a little too intense.
Okay.
So yeah, we get a really intense scene about. Well, first of all, set the scene. There's violence everywhere.
Yes.
People getting shot. People getting burned.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah, it's they hold no punches with the counts of what happened that night, and everybody's a victim of this. All the families that are in focus, Montrose and George's family, and Atticus's family, they're focuses of this violence, and Letty gets sucked into the family's house because she's there to get the book of names because that's where it is, and she gets called out by the grandma,
Mm-hmm.
and then the grandma pieces it together because she knows that magic exists, right? She's seen it. She was a a house maid, I guess, in Titus's estate. She
Yeah,
escaped.
if that's who she was, and I guess that would make more sense because that's why she was so easily convinced that Letty said who she was. I was like, why is this woman buying this? I would be like, shut the fuck up. Like, because she ignored the screams and cries of her family to like go help.
Yeah.
Because she really did believe just from one thing Letty said, just like, we die here, don't we?
Yep.
Like, yeah. And just for her to like accept that so quickly.
Yeah, because she's like, why did you come here? She could have went to any other time. So coming there would mean that they died there.
Mm-hmm.
And she can't pull her out to change it because that might fuck something up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Atticus might not be born if she leaves.
Yeah. I'm glad that they said that. That I feel like was important. I was like, oh yeah, oh shit. Like this is Back to the Future.
I think those are like universal rules that everybody uses. Can't bet on
Mm-hmm.
things. Can't do this.
The butterfly effect.
Yeah, we get a really intense personal scene of her burning. I was a
Ugh.
little skeeved out by this one, but I guess like
Yeah.
I don't know if the dream was kind of what I want to know is what I need to rewatch is Atticus when he had his dream, right? Was he wearing the same things that he was wearing in 1921? The same goes for Letty if she was wearing the same red dress. I want to say yes, but I don't have any tangible proof because I have to rewatch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that it was the same thing, and I think they were prophesizing, Letty, because she has the protection spell on her, so she's not going to burn.
Yeah.
And the thing that was so rough when they were basically holding hands while she was burning. She eventually caught on fire, and then Letty let go, and then her hand went like engulfed in fucking flames. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, she's like Daenerys Targaryen and just watches this other woman burn alive. Like I was like, there was no reason to watch the skeleton turn to dust. Like could have, I don't know. Like what an awful way to die. And
Yeah.
Letty just watched it happen.
Yeah. And there was one thing that bothered me about this episode, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a heartfelt moment between Atticus and Montrose. I think they're kind of like on the same page. Like Atticus kind of understands like what the hell is going on and why he was so scared to, be himself. Talking about Montrose.
Yeah.
And
yeah, there's a bit of acceptance and forgiveness that goes on.
yeah, I mean, realistically, like, does it really matter for Atticus on who his dad is?
No, but it's just personal.
Yeah, it's like a
personal struggle, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess he did say it. He sat in the chair wishing that he was, the son of, Uncle George instead of yours. I guess that's what he's like struggling with, but he got a fucking dose of what it was like in 1921 and be glad you weren't born in that time because it was fucking rough.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the source of why Montrose got his ass beat earlier in the day. And he was acting sweet, quote air quotes, with another kid, another dude, Thomas, I think his name was.
Yeah, I don't remember. And Thomas ends up dying.
Yeah, he gets shot in the head right in front of Montrose. And
yeah, really hard to watch, like, because it's kids. These kids, what they went through, what they witnessed.
Yeah, there was a lot of N words and F words thrown in this episode.
Oh, that was hard too. It makes my stomach turn every time. What do you think if they had not used the heavy N word and still used maybe like
No, I think when you're talking about like historical things like this,
Yeah.
Anything that's contemporary, I don't think should have that word in it. Anything that's
I
recent or
see.
modern, some of
Okay.
them do, like, Django Unchained. But yeah, when you're talking about historical shit, that's what they said. That's how people were back then. So tell it like it
Yeah, and
was.
they're presenting history
Yeah.
all the way back to slavery.
Yeah.
All right.
One more
Yeah,
thing.
it's just hard to watch. Yeah, go ahead.
It is very hard to watch. We get something. I think this is underratedly big.
Mm-hmm.
Montrose never told anybody of this, so you know that he grew up with this happening. So 30 plus years have passed since this time. He never told anybody. He said that he was saved. What happened was after his friend or boyfriend or crush or whatever got his head blown off, George came to save him.
No, Atticus.
No, George was there with him.
Oh.
And they got ambushed by a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of white people ambushed him, Dora, and George. Montrose, Dora, and George. And Atticus had this, I don't know, deja vu moment where he says, "I got you, kid,"
Yeah.
with current day Montrose, and he just swoops in and starts Jackie Robinson the fucking shit out of everybody. Beating the living shit out of people, breaking their jaws, hitting him in the back of the head, really bloody. And so he met, technically, either his uncle or his father back then, and Montrose never told anybody. So there's this loop. There's this continual loop that's happening. And that goes
That's
back.
a good point.
It goes back to the Hippolyta episode where, or actually last episode as well, where Atticus mentions that there was white people rioting in the future, and he was approached by a hooded white woman, with the Lovecraft Country book that was written by George Freeman, his son. So
yes, Atticus' son.
Yes, and they confirmed that they were going to name him George when Letty and Atticus split up. They were like, we should just call him George, right? Yeah, I'm out. And is this Christina trying to correct what she's done in the future? Because if this is in the future, we could assume that Christina succeeded in getting invulnerability. And we could also assume they played on this heavily in this episode because she turned into William to go press the police chief, right?
Yeah.
So she still has to be in William's skin to actually get shit done. She can't be in there if she's a woman, right?
Yeah, she talks often of the sexism.
So what if she succeeds, Atticus dies, and something goes horribly wrong, and everybody, or very wrong people, can get invulnerability down the line. And it could be that Atticus went to a different multiverse, a different Earth, not Earth 504, but a different Earth, because he said that the names were different. D, or Diana, was named Horus in the book. And if you're familiar about like multiverse theories, especially if you watch Endgame, things could be a little bit different in different timelines. So your Spider-Man might be Spider-Woman in, Earth 699 or something. So we'll see. We're gonna get some big reveals in the last episode. I'm super excited. I don't want to go. I've seen the preview. I don't want to go super into it. But the one thing that bothered me in this episode, it was at the very end where Miss Prego, holding the book, was walking super fucking slow getting to the hotel.
Why? Especially because Hippolyta was like dying and frothing at the mouth, having like seizures.
Yeah, she was going like Super Saiyan 3.
Letty's like walking down the aisle at a wedding, like a mile long, strolling.
Getting hit by fucking plane shrapnel or bombs or whatever the fuck.
That bothered me. Does she also have like a heavier gravitational pull as part of the anti-curse? because a bomb dropping right next to you, yes, there's fire, but there would be a big boom. I just did. I was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Well, anything to it also bothered me too that Montrose was, even though that was a beautiful scene of him just looking out at the burning city and looking at Letty just strolling through it. Um that was really cool to see the reflection of the city burning through the window of Montrose behind the window. I love that scene.
Yeah, that was beautifully shot. It showed like the carnage and the massacre and just the flames of pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
And just watching it from like a chilling point of view, it was yeah.
It was like he was watching his kingdom burn.
Yeah. But do some research on the Tulsa massacre.
Yeah, as it was portrayed in both The Watchmen, maybe if you want to see, a historical fiction portrayal, watch The Watchmen or watch Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, I mean it's the best TV show on paid cable right now. Out of everything.
Yeah, it's very good. It's also very scary.
Yeah.
Well, anything to add about Lovecraft Country episode 9?
Nope, I'm just super excited for episode 10. I'm kind of wondering what the hell we're going to do until The Mandalorian.
True. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, fantastic episode. Check it out.
Also, if you guys are watching any shows right now you think we should be watching, please, give us some feedback. Let us know. We're genuinely always what movie should we watch? We're looking for feedback on that. Sure, suggestions. And then also, what we should talk about. Maybe as far as television, what are you watching that, you think we should be consuming?
Yeah, if you have anything interesting throughout the week that happens, drop it into the lower bitrate section of Discord. This week was dry as fuck with gaming news.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just us shooting the shit, talking about what we're playing. We're not necessarily playing, the big releases or what's coming out immediately.
Yeah, I also think that it's like the calm before the storm because November we're going to be bombarded with games.
True. Also, Mario Kart comes out on Friday, right?
Mario Kart?
Let's confirm that.
There's a new Mario Kart?
Mario Kart Live Home Circuit coming October 16th. Sending you the link right meow.
Okay. All right, we'll save that for next week.
Okay, because it will have come out. I don't have it pre-ordered. My friend told me yesterday he was panicking a little that he wouldn't be able to pre-order it. But I don't know if you look at this link, it looks like there's cars with cameras on.
Yep. That is interesting. All right, we'll check it out.
Yeah, so you're going to be racing in real life and virtually. It looks very interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, but I think we've gone on long enough. Thank you very much for listening to episode 44. Can't believe it. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.